Hello and welcome to the Groundfox podcast. I am Jason, otherwise known as JPT, and I will be serving as co-host for today's show. My other host of the podcast, I suppose, is Mr. Oaky. How are you doing, Oaky?
I'm tired as all hell.
You're tired as all hell. Well, you are technically in the future, being Australian and everything.
I don't sleep. We don't sleep in the future.
There's just no sleeping? Is there like a pill?
No. Yeah, it's basically Viagra rapid.
Viagra rapid. As if it needed to be more rapid enough.
We basically have erections all the time as well.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Way to that's just a nice little introduction we're having for everyone. Just to get a little taste of what we're all about.
Yep.
Anyways, there are of course many other Groundfoxians here today, so I just wanted to kind of take a moment, go around the table, I suppose, the virtual table, and introduce everyone so that you can associate names with voices. Let's see. Let's just start off with the man himself, Josh. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
You're just good.
I am good. Yeah.
Papa Josh is always good.
Papa Josh. So there's Josh is, of course, sort of the man in charge when it comes to the Groundfox server. Kind of keeps us all in charge. Kind of smacks us back down to earth whenever we get too far away. Always appreciated.
Thanks, Josh.
Yeah,
that's very
thanks.
True.
Thanks for abusing us. We appreciate it.
Oh goodness, abuse.
Hey, you're the one that talked about erections in the future.
I can't do it to my kids. I've got to do it to somebody.
That's true.
Oh, true.
That is true. We'll take the hit for the kids. Also joining us is Buncy. How are you tonight? Buncy?
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 God damn it, Buncy.
I'm good, thank you.
Should I not swear?
It had to be somebody.
I'm pretty sure you can swear, James. I did talk about erections, and now JP is talking about hitting children.
All right, well, I guess we'll move on, and if he comes back around, we'll do the formal introduction. But of course, you heard from
Josh
James.
Can spank him.
Oh yeah. Hi guys, Mavis here. Welcome to another episode of Groundfox.
Well, you could serve as Mavis if you want. She apparently could not make it tonight.
My goodness.
Of course,
Mavis scream.
James, also known as Weremuffin.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's me.
I guess Josh is also known as Jryan, or what's your Jryanmiller? Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
That is correct.
Yeah. So basically, you'll be seeing sort of our Minecraft representations as a part of the video, so you can kind of put two and two together. Buncy, you still not there? All right, we'll just move on. Of course, also joining us is Brad.
Hi guys, Brad or BirdGeek3, but they're probably going to refer to me as Bert in here, so I will be responding to them as well.
You're a man of many names.
Man of many names, correct.
Yeah. Of course, also joining us is Mr. Yates.
Hello, also known as @1705.
That's right. So, that's just a small portion of the individuals here that are a part of Groundfox. Of course, you can also learn more about us at groundfox.net. We're also on Twitter, Groundfox server. Is that correct? At Groundfox server. I should know these things. And of course, we're also on YouTube, which is most likely the way you're hearing us right now. So search for Groundfox server and subscribe. We would certainly appreciate it.
I'm sure we would, guys.
Hey,
There you are.
Hey,
Josh, get the
everyone.
paddle.
I thought that you were ignoring me when I made a stupid voice to introduce myself, but it turns out Skype did not recognize my microphone for just this call.
Nice. Gotta love Skype. Gotta love Skype. Well, we're glad you could make it, Buncy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Buncythefrog, coming in a little bit late.
Oh, boy. Well, that's going to do it for introductions. I guess we should just go ahead and jump into some topics. I suppose, of course, with us being a Minecraft group, we should probably talk about Minecraft a little bit. Is that all right with everyone?
I do love
Actually,
Minecraft.
I was wanting to talk about
Okay, but only for a little bit.
I mean, it's the one thing that really originally brought us together, right? Minecraft?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of the point.
I don't know.
Yep.
This James guy was kind of just sitting on a curb in a car park, like he has been the past couple of days, and we just kind of thought, hey, he's got a laptop with him, may as well install Minecraft on it, and he can play with us.
Okay. We don't tell them about that.
About your... Okay.
Anyways, this is pretty much an open question to everyone. How involved in Minecraft are you these days? I'll start off with Oaky.
Well, I recently moved this weekend, so yesterday was the first day with internet again after like 4 days. So I got back on the server yesterday, and I've kind of just been searching at what people have been doing on the server, and I haven't been able to play Skyfox, which is the modded Minecraft server for Groundfox, with friends.
With friends.
With friends. Because my client for that keeps on screwing up, so it basically logs me in, then kicks me out, and makes me invisible to other people. It's like I'm there, but I'm not there.
Because you're in the future.
I am in the future, and we have erections here all the time.
You just can't quite sync up the connections, I guess.
Exactly. I'm always going to the hospital because of that Viagra.
Apparently, you just have to lay in a bathtub and hold somebody's hand. You'll be fine.
I don't have a bathtub in my new place. I basically have a shower that's the size of a bedroom, and it's called the party shower. So,
A potty or party?
party. You can at least fit about 20 people in there.
Fantastic. I guess you could also call it the potty shower.
Are you
The
eating
potty-
peanut butter?
Me?
Yes.
When?
Now.
No, if anything, I would be eating Vegemite.
Oh, Vegemite. That's right. That's what it
Vegemite.
is.
Yeah. Anyways, Weremuffin, how's Minecraft been treating you lately?
It's been treating me well enough. I've mainly been doing minigame stuff with Oaky, Yates, and Nathan. And then I've also been actually doing mod development, which has been going quite well.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of that stuff. And now, of course, you did something with Bill and Mavis.
Oh, yes. We are actually doing a hardcore series right now, which you can find on Shameless Plug, Mavis9308, and Mukaki LP on YouTube. And it is actually featuring said mod. It's been pretty fun, aside from Bill taking a lot of bad damage.
Well, that's kind of the point,
Bill,
right?
let's face it, Bill's probably drunk most of the time while he's doing this.
See, I wasn't going to mention that.
See, I've watched a few of them, and he's kind of Bill.
Yes.
But more so, Bill.
Yeah.
Now, the name of the mod, are you comfortable sharing that with us?
Yeah, sure. It's called ETC, in other words, etc. It's just a mix and match of various things I thought could be fun in Minecraft. New building blocks, variants for things like bricks, nether bricks, just a bunch of stuff I think would fit a really vanilla aesthetic.
Yeah, it definitely. I haven't watched the videos yet. I haven't had enough time, but certainly piqued my interest when I saw them pop up because, of course, I had known about your development, but to actually see it in action should be pretty interesting.
It's actually working quite well, but I need to adjust some things, definitely.
That's, I mean, the best way to kind of get a taste for it is to throw some other people on it and see what they think.
I've gotten a bunch of new ideas just from this testing. Just being able to play in a survival has given me new ideas of ways to work things.
James, you always have great ideas, man.
If you say so. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Yates would not agree with that thing we had earlier, right? When Warlords.
Oh, you guys played Warlords without me?
Maybe.
Come on.
You weren't around.
We're breaking relationships right now, so don't worry.
It's alright, I was slaving away at work, and these guys were having fun. I understand.
You're probably having too much fun in your party shower.
Potty
Or
shower.
potty shower.
Or potty
Potty
shower.
Shower.
I probably... Let's
Either-
face it, we all probably pee in the shower, okay?
I'll admit yes.
If you don't, you're a liar.
You're a stinking liar.
Or you're always near a toilet.
Oh, the toilet's in the shower.
That's true. Well, that's
Either
true.
that or you're in an episode of Seinfeld.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, moving on. Brad, how's Minecraft been treating you?
Minecraft's kind of fallen out of my heart, to be honest. Don't play it much anymore.
Out of your actual heart itself?
Yeah, I kind of hopped and skipped away. It used to be something I played a lot, but not so much anymore.
have you moved on to anything else in particular? Or?
Well, I tried to do the Skyfox server with the friends, and I played that for maybe a few nights with my other friends. But I ended up kind of getting bored of that because I had work one weekend, and everyone else just got monumentally ahead of me, and it just felt like I was playing catch up the whole time. So I got killed in both Skyfox, and vanilla just doesn't hold my interest anymore. So I've more switched to games like Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, and League of Legends, and Elite Dangerous I just bought not too long ago. So those are the three games I'm doing.
We should talk about
I
Elite Dangerous
approve
later.
of two. I approve of two of the one of those games, Brad. You know why.
I do know why.
We'll definitely be talking about some other games that people are playing, so hold those opinions for just a little bit later. We'll definitely get to that. But yeah, I mean that's definitely one of those things that happens with people that have been playing Minecraft for quite some time. Is you just kind of have those seasons where you sort of are kind of burnt out on it, and you got to take a little bit of a break. Or I know some people that just love it all the time. So
yeah, I envy the people who are able to just play it because I wish I was able to do that because it is a fun game, but it just doesn't hold the interest for me right now.
I think everyone goes through that stage of getting bored with the game and coming back to it and then loving it again.
Yeah, I'm hoping it happens sometime soon.
Yeah. Josh, what about you?
I am actually just coming off of a Minecraft break. I am on the vanilla server quite a bit, and I'm on and off the modded server. I'm in the middle of doing like some magic type stuff, but the vanilla server is really holding my attention. That and my single player, since I sold my solid state drive and I can't record right now because of issues. I am really delving into that.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't share it with others, so might as well just share it with yourself, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I like sharing with myself.
Well, you have your son there with you. You can just kind
That's
of
true.
talk to him about what's going on, and you can just kind of nod
Just
or say,
help.
"Look."
Yeah.
He likes the zombies.
Does he?
Can he say? Does he say zombies really good? Because I want to hear it.
Yeah, he can. He's not here right now. I kicked everybody out.
There you go.
You could always imitate his voice for us.
Oh, go on, Josh. He is your son.
Is he gonna do it?
He probably just sounds like a tiny you, right?
Joshua.
Yeah.
Joshua.
So if I just like raise my voice a little bit?
Does he only have like 1 inch of beard?
Yes, just one, just the one so far. Unless he puts on his hat. We got him a Viking beard hat for Christmas.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
amazing.
Oh, goodness.
Amazing.
I want pictures.
There are pictures.
There are.
Where?
Well, I mean, you can't see them because they're too far in the chat past Mr. Future Man.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, I'll have to use my my back travel watch and go back.
That fast internet of yours. Figure it out.
Actually, maybe I can pull it up real quick. Let me see here.
All right. Well, while he's doing that, Bunsy, how's Minecraft been treating you?
I am on one of those Minecraft breaks right now. I picked up again Agrarian Skies to give it a try, and I tried recording that for a little bit, but it just didn't feel right. And I've played it a little bit in my off time. I'm kind of at the stage now where playing Agrarian Skies means that I'm sitting there for 30 minutes at a time waiting for machines to run. So it's something that can be a nice little distraction every once in a while. But certainly I'm that type of guy who with Minecraft will play obsessively for 3 months at a time and then not touch it for 6.
Gotcha. Yates, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm very much the same as Bunsy. Like, when I got my new computer, it encouraged me to play modded, which I haven't been able to do, like, realistically before. And I've been really enjoying it, so hopefully I'll be able to get back onto vanilla soon as well, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between myself. I'm just coming off of a break. I think I kind of got a little too involved in the modded stuff. Of course, we use Hermitcraft mod sauce. That's what we use on our Skyfox server. And yeah, I set out to build this very large build, and I think I kind of got there. And then I, of course, dwelled into the micro blocks a little too much. I think the micro blocks are like heroin to me. It's like I have like a micro block overdose, and then I'm just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done for a little while. So I haven't really jumped back onto the the modded stuff, but I have been playing on vanilla recently. I've got some stuff that at N10, our sort of big build that we have there, that I was actually surprised because there was one project that I was working on that I wasn't looking forward to, and it actually is something that I kind of started working on. It's like this restaurant in this community build that I have, and like surprisingly just was like, I'm just going to record this and see what happens, and ended up getting like 3 episodes out of it. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course we've had this really weird problem in the Nether that James and Yates helped me with the other day. That's pretty fun. So
Yeah, you can find a video of that on JP's channel.
that's
Shameless
right.
plug.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh, is that what you
JPTPlays.
guys were doing in the call the other day?
Yes. Yes, we were experimenting with why these random witherheads were just floating sideways. I don't even know. It's definitely a more visual thing than it is. It's harder to explain. So yeah, watching the video will certainly help. I'll maybe throw in like a screenshot so you guys can kind of see it at this point in the video, because it's certainly a sight to see. I haven't seen anybody else kind of bring it up yet.
I actually saw a post on the Minecraft subreddit about that recently.
Really?
And yeah.
Oh, that was me.
They-
I did that.
Was it you?
Yeah, that most definitely was me.
Awesome.
I replied and you never said anything.
Jerk.
Are you sure? Oh no, it wasn't me then.
Yeah, it was
So-
this Dust of Oblivion 123 guy. Not you, I don't think.
Well, it definitely. I mean, it appears to be. Was his a server issue? Do you know?
It was a single player world, actually.
Really? Huh. Well, we did kind of figure out that it was, because our server's on 181, and most of us that were actually running into the problem were running 183, although, Weremuffin, you were still kind of running into it, even though you were using the same build as the server. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a weird glitch in the matrix or something.
Oh, did that not turn out to be something like the gas fireballs that you can freeze in the air?
It was.
Yeah, it was that.
Oh, okay.
With a little bit more forceful action on our part. We had to
I killed
use.
Yates with it.
Yeah,
by
he killed
accident.
Yates. Yeah. We had to use bouncy blocks to push it. Nothing else would cause it to move. So, because the face was facing up towards the sky, and once we hit it, it turned, either north, south, east, or west, and would accelerate about 20 blocks until it hit something. If it didn't hit something, then it would just orient back up to the sky. It was really strange. It's really strange. And they're just everywhere. They're like all sorts of heights and parts of, well, I guess it's not technically, it's the Nether, but it's above the ceiling of the Nether. That's where
Right.
we're running
People must
into
have
it.
been doing wither fights up there.
Right. So, I don't know. It's very strange.
I always do with the fights in my hole, and apparently everyone does with the fights in my hole.
Yeah, that's actually what occurred
That's-
to me is I don't know of anyone battling a wither up there, so it's even weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I normally do my wither fights on that server right below the nether ceiling, but right above where my portal is.
Oh, maybe some
Oh.
glitched through the ceiling then. That'd be weird.
Yeah, that was.
I'm sure it could be done.
Well, if we find more, we'll definitely keep them away from Weremuffin, because he's certainly wanting to do fun things with them. And by fun, I mean evil.
Yes.
Me? Evil? You know me too well.
A little bit. So, okay, so of course, we can't sort of talk about Minecraft without talking about sort of the elephant in the room, Microsoft. Now, with Microsoft, pretty much at this point, seemingly just in it for the money, what do you guys think the future of Minecraft is with Microsoft involved?
I think it can only improve. With a better team, potentially, they could easily fix bugs that have just been lingering since alpha days, even.
Well,
I-
I'm never gonna see it on my Wii U, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I think they shot themselves in the foot actually with the whole Microsoft acquisition. Because I believe it is from 1.7 to 1.8, the official release of the game. It was in development for over a year, and I thought that was too big of a jump because beforehand they had been taking maybe 3-4 months at a time to update something, and the updates were cool and the updates were hip and they had things that were interesting, but then they gave us all those snapshots leading up to 1.8 that took like a full year. And I felt like that's where it lost a lot of the interest for me, is because it took so long, because the quote unquote new things had already been seen in all the snapshots, so it got kind of boring after a while.
Well, for me, the thing that I'm concerned about, if anything, is Microsoft said we are not touching Minecraft at least for a while, and they've been kind of true to that so far from what I've seen. But I put that against the Microsoft recently had a recommitment to PC gaming announcement, and I think the highlight of that was that you could, what was it? You could stream Xbox One games to your PC.
Right.
So, use something weaker than your PC to play games. And if that's what they consider as a commitment to PC gaming, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence about their commitment to Minecraft. Now, that being said, I haven't seen anything that they've done that's been bad as far as Minecraft is concerned, but the skies are gray in the horizon.
See, I think that they know Minecraft is huge. You talk to any kid nowadays, they know what Minecraft is. They play it. It's their Mario. It's their Lego of this generation. I think Microsoft knows just how huge it is. They know they've got something that's working incredibly well at this moment. There's probably, what was it? What were those stats that Dinnerbone posted a while back? There was just a ridiculous amount of people still playing online and offline. I don't think they're going to adjust the formula too much. They know that it's working.
It's the highest grossing, if not within the top 3 highest grossing video games of all time.
Of course. Yeah.
They're nearly about to hit 19 million people bought on PC Mac version.
Yeah. The one thing that
That's
really
what it says on the site.
Yeah, the one thing that really surprises me is the popularity of the Pocket Edition.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's actually outstripped the...
Yeah, I agree.
games.
That's amazing. I mean, I own it, but I don't think I've even reinstalled it since
I
I
own it too,
updated
but
my
it's
phone.
a lot.
It's actually 9th on the list. No, 7th on the list of best-selling games ever.
Yeah.
It's actually improved a lot since it originally came out. I've played it on my phone, and it's not bad, honestly.
Now, Josh, is that list from Wikipedia?
It is.
Now, you remember Dinnerbone had that whole thing where he was saying Wikipedia is not aggregating sales numbers for every edition. Like, Minecraft is Minecraft. It doesn't matter where it's sold. But
Right.
Wikipedia was insistent on Minecraft PC as one product. Minecraft Xbox as one product.
Well, no,
And
the
they were
one I'm
counting them
looking at now
differently.
is accumulated.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, 'cause
I can
it's-
see
it's
why kids
quoting-
are picking up easier though.
34 million sales.
Wow.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, my opinion with it is kind of what Weremuffin originally said, is it's kind of nice to have a corporation that has been dealing with computers pretty much since the beginning of, personal computers in terms of its popularity. So they at least can test different things on a variety of different platforms, or at least different builds. And I think that's really important, just because of the fact that not everyone's computers are the same, and of course they've been dealing with pushing out updates and stuff. That's not to say that they're obviously perfect. They of course also push out updates to their own software, but I definitely think the Minecraft team tapping into that kind of computing power hopefully will bring some interesting things down the road.
Right. And obviously, I don't work for Microsoft. Well, I don't work for Microsoft. But speaking as a professional developer, being even within the same company as other teams doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the level of help that you would think. I know that, that can be a perception where people would say, company X bought company Y. That means that company Y is going to have access to everything in company X. That can take years, if not decades, if the company's big enough, like Microsoft is.
Right. So, I don't know. And I think only time will tell, and we'll just kind of have to keep on keeping on. Is there anything, kind of getting back to what Brad was saying, he's kind of burnt out on Minecraft a little bit. Is there anything in particular that Mojang could do to retain or regain your interest?
I don't want to say it's the mod API, but it's probably the mod API. I mean, that's what a lot of people have been complaining about because they've promised a mod API for however long now. I mean, last time I went to Minecon in Florida, they were saying, well, the mod API will be coming out hopefully soon, and here we sit still not having the mod API. So I would think if that were to actually come out, the amount of change that could be done in the game by the community would skyrocket, even though it's great and vast right now. I think the amount of mods, the amount of UI changes, just I think the game would take a whole new direction, and I think that'd be really interesting. But I'm afraid that they've stopped developing that because recently they rewrote everything that they had for the game, or they tried to clean up their code or something, and it took them so long that I'm afraid that they're not going to pursue the mod API anymore.
But that is part of the mod API. All these rewrites are part of making it so they can actually do this. The Minecraft code is clusterfuck, to be honest.
Yeah, and I've seen it too, and it is crazy. I agree. I hope they're still working on it, but they've been so silent about anything about the mod API that I'm afraid that they've just given up on it.
Well, all I have to say is slabs everything, and stairs everything.
Oh gods, if you knew how slabs were coded, they're not good. I've looked at it.
Well,
It's no wonder we don't have slabs for everything.
Well, that would retain my interest for at least another year. I could do a lot with pretty much slabs everything, stairs everything.
Oh, slab iron blocks. Oh, the things you could do with those.
Actually.
Basically, if all they did was slab and stair clay blocks,
That would be good too.
there you go. That I could live on that for 6 months minimum. I could do so much stuff with that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But just wanted to kind of check in with you guys and see where things were. Sounds like we're all kind of in different places and the same places at the same time. So, all right, moving on. Of course, recently daylight saving time kind of forced many of us to spring forward real quick. We don't need to get into, an argument about farmers. Yay or nay? And does this affect our neighbors overseas?
Yates?
Not yet. In fact, at the moment, your daylight saving helps me actually be in this conversation right now.
Interesting.
Otherwise, it would be 1 a.m. for me, except it's midnight presently, because the time difference is only 4 hours instead of 5. But that will soon to be changing on the 27th of this month, when I jump forward an hour.
Gotcha. So they don't occur on the same date. That's interesting. What about you, Oaky?
It's never really affected me, really.
I know not is. Am I correct in thinking that not all of Australia goes with daylight saving time?
Well, where I am, it does. I think it might be Adelaide. Might be the only place. I think it might be Adelaide and Perth, but yeah, it doesn't really affect me much. It's never really affected me when it came to gaming with with people.
Gotcha.
Like, especially in Groundfox. Like, when Muffins used to stream all the time and he had a more busy schedule, I used to always be around. So seeing that my time basically is you guys have late night games going on where it's still like lunchtime for me. So it's always easy.
Okay. Well, it took us forever to figure out exactly which time zone you lived in anyways, so...
Yeah, well, you guys were going off Brisbane, the city, which is completely different to the rest of Queensland.
Yeah.
And to my time.
Yeah, well, I think it's a lot easier for us just to tell you what time it is here, and then you can figure it out.
Yeah, true.
Because at first I was like, oh yeah, it's 14. Then I was like, no, it's 16. Then I'm like, no, it's 14. And I work with time all the time in my profession, so I should know better. But I think it's 14.
Yes, I think it is too right now until it changes daylight saving.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but it won't make a difference.
Well, for me, the only one thing that it really impacts, of course, we went forward, so we kind of lost that hour. The one thing is that my cat is kind of on a timer. Like, he's just like a bionic watch.
Is it robot? Is it a robot cat?
No, I wish he was. That'd be much
Okay,
cooler.
did you send it from the future?
That's true.
Yes, I did. I sent it to him. I was like, "Happy birthday, Merry Christmas." Wait, what was it? Merry Christmas.
But anyway, so I have to feed him 3 times a day because he's just weird like that. And so we feed him at 5 in the morning, noon, and then 5 in the evening. Well, of course, when we spring forward, it's not a problem. It's just when we fall back, it becomes a problem because he can't adjust. So it's kind of like the springing forward isn't as much of a issue in this case. So like I go down at like 5 in the morning, or I go down at noon to feed him. He's kind of like, what's going on? What's going on? Because his body hasn't sort of transitioned to that yet.
Is
I
it
think
an
it's pretty
older
funny.
cat, JP?
He's about 9 years old.
And he always gets confused when it's daylight savings.
He definitely does when we fall back.
Okay.
He's of course meowing at like 4 in the evening when it's supposed to be 5 or whatever his time.
Yeah.
So he has his own time zone apparently. But I don't mind it. Of course, a lot of people get it confused that it was farmers have to sort of adjust their clocks when that's not the case. Farmers just get up whenever they need to. They don't follow any particular time and time zone. It's more so this archaic thing that we all just continue to mess with, and I don't think we'll ever be done with it fully. So I used to live in Arizona, which I believe is the only state that just simply does not follow it any longer. And then a couple of years ago, Indiana sort of was like, all right, I think it was like 2006. They were like, all right, we're going to start following daylight saving time. And I was just kind of like, dang it. Because I went from one to another. We just simply just ignored it. And so having to like get used to it was kind of an interesting thing, but I don't mind it. But then again, I could live without it and be just fine. But my state, there's portions of it that that aren't even on the same time zone. So
I know for a fact Hawaii also doesn't observe daylight savings time.
is that true? Okay.
Yeah, they don't spring forward as well.
Gotcha.
I don't mind daylight savings time. A lot of the things that I use every day just adjust automatically. My computer, my phone. The thing that gets me is having to change the time on the stove, on the car. Yeah. Like, that's the worst part about daylight savings. Losing, gaining an hour, whatever. Changing the time. Oh my God.
Yeah, what was really cool is on Saturday night, before I went to bed, I set an alarm with like the Google Android app, like you can talk to it, and I said set an alarm for like 5 in the morning, and it tells you like the time, like this is how much longer you have until this alarm goes off. It actually adjusted it when it told me that, and I was like, the future.
Nice.
I was like, this is so cool, because that's the one thing I always freak out, like using your phone will your phone transition in the middle of the night? Well, in this case, it did. So.
Oh yeah. Most modern phones will sync their time, or just know from the date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't mind it, but it sounds like for the most part we all just live with it, and it is what it is. So
the only thing that really annoys me is when I get on my bike to go to work, and I'm like, I'm thinking it's the right time, and I never change the clock on my bike. So I'm riding, and I'm thinking, shit, I'm at least an hour later, an hour early. And yeah, sometimes one time actually I turned around and went back home and looked at the clock on my phone. I'm like, oh my goodness.
So did you pay extra for that?
Yeah, when you say bike, you're meaning motorcycle, right?
Yeah, my motorcycle.
Okay, I'm thinking you're like pedaling down the freeway with a big clock strapped to your handlebars. Like, what?
That's the way they do it in the future.
Like
Apparently.
a Royal Star?
We got rid of motorcycles altogether. Now it's just push bikes all the way.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I guess we should move on. There's one big story that kind of came down in the last week with EA shutting down Maxis Emeryville, of course, the studio that was behind SimCity. Pretty much the way... I don't know if there could have been any better timing for City Skylines to come out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because...
That's a very good point. City Skylines right now on Twitch TV is just the thing that people are watching.
Yeah, I don't... Of course, EA's not necessarily putting a, stake through the heart of SimCity, but it's certainly not looking good for the future of that particular series. Of course, they're going to continue to support Sims 4, from what I understand, or,
Yeah, the article says they're going to continue to support both SimCity and The Sims 4 with updates and bug patches and all this stuff. They're just...
do you really want updates to SimCity, though?
I have a feeling that it won't be helpful.
If by updates you mean die.
Right. Just to self-destruct. You have 20 minutes. Enjoy. But yeah, again, City Skylines, they could have, with everyone sort of shifting their attention to that with this news, they could have really easily dropped the ball by putting out something. I mean, because essentially, of course, they had, what was it, City XL, and then they, came out with Cities XXL, which is the exact same game, and they were charging people for it. I'm actually surprised so many people are like, yay, City Skylines! Because again, they could have really screwed that up, but from what I can tell, they haven't. I mean, I'm the guy that already pre-ordered it, so as of this recording, I have less than 12 hours before I'll be playing it. So, I don't know. I dodged the bullet. I already owned Cities XL and played it and was just kind of like, this is a little derpy. And then I saw that they were coming out with something new, and I thought, nah, I probably won't get it. And then I saw it, and I was like, nah, I'm getting it. So, I don't know. I'll be playing it, and I'll have video evidence of my escapades, but it just seems like, yeah, EA really dropped the ball with SimCity. But it seems what it is really interesting. I hate to keep comparing the two, but it's so obvious. Is when you watch City Skylines, there's so much stuff that reminds me, at least, of what SimCity could have been.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think it's just a better game overall. Just watching a few people, I think they've done a better job with the release without the DRM. Does it have DRM? Do you guys know?
I know, I think it does actually.
I remember there being this big issue when SimCity originally came out because I pre-ordered SimCity, sadly enough.
Right.
And the servers were all crashing and you couldn't log in and everyone was upset, like, why'd you make a DRM? And then people were kind of doing a hack around to let you play offline and stuff, and it's just a big mess. So I hope that it seems like City Skylines has gone smoother with their launch overall. So it's like a little coup d'etat they took, and now they're the big city building game.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they saw the example that EA put in front of us and were like, we shouldn't do that. And they learned from their mistakes, basically. Yeah, but of course, EA financially probably not taking necessarily a huge hit on it. It's just kind of sad to see something that at least I know many of us probably grew up with kind of just go away without much of a fight. Because they certainly didn't put anything out that seemed like it was going to be fun once we all paid $60 for it. And that's the other thing, too, is City Skylines is much cheaper, which really helps.
Yeah, I can't believe I paid $60 for SimCity, to be honest.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, so...
I did enjoy SimCity in more of a nostalgic way.
Sure.
Yeah.
But at this point, I think that's all you're gonna have. So,
yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But it seems like if City Skylines can keep it up, that might just be the way we all go.
Yeah.
Oh well. All right, so let's shift things to a open discussion. We kind of got to this a little bit earlier. What are you playing? Anybody want to just get out there and... I heard Elite Dangerous. Do you guys just want to go ahead and get that out of the way?
I'm all about Elite Dangerous right now. I'm going to be playing that after this podcast.
I'm playing Elite Dangerous as well. I'm also replaying Skyrim. I rebuilt my mod list, and I've been playing that like nobody's business. As the new version of SKSE shows on Steam when I'm playing finally, you guys can just look on there, and I'm always on Skyrim.
I agree he does have an addiction.
Okay, so on average, how many different mods are you playing with at one time?
Easily 150 to 250 depending on the day.
Wow.
This is the guy that does a stream just showing people how he installs mods.
How to install my mod list, yeah.
I think I can hear your computer crying from all the way over here.
Well, no, it's a super build now. It's good.
Oh, okay.
No, before it was actually getting stabbed, but now it's just kind of silently
you could hear it like at my neighbor's house. You could hear my fans going. But it's good now.
Okay, Brad, so take us through the glory that is apparently Elite Dangerous.
Oh my God.
I'm following at least one person on Twitter who is just all about it. And I know it's kind of like an open world space exploration simulation, but what is it beyond that? How is it different than, say, I'm blanking on the name right now.
Are you saying Star Citizen?
No, the space MMO.
Eve
Online. Okay.
The difference is there are no spreadsheets.
Oh, finally. um, if you
Sorry,
think
Microsoft.
about Star Citizen and how there's so much hype built around Star Citizen with its graphics, with its animations, the promises that guy's making, and how much money he's made so far. Elite Dangerous is the released version of Star Citizen, lacking two of the big features that Star Citizen has planned. Elite Dangerous, you can explore anywhere in the observable universe. So they took the Milky Way galaxy, created stars and star systems with planets and things like that for places that we know exist. So you can go visit Alpha Centauri, or you can go to Vega and see the star up front and in person as through a video game. And you earn credits by doing certain missions. Each star has what are called like starports or hubs around them. You take like you go to a bulletin board and you kind of look, and there's jobs you can do and stuff like that. So it's a free game in the sense that you can go kind of do whatever you want. There's no hard you're gonna be a hunter, or you have to be a trader, or you're only gonna be exploring. You can switch between whatever you really want to do. So it's nice in the sense that it's open to you and you can honestly travel wherever you want, but it's also frustrating in the sense that it's hard to get started. That's where I'm having the issues, is I'm not the best at controlling with my joystick, and so I have issues when some mean PvP person comes and finds me. He wants the 2,000 credits I have on me. Well, he's going to fight me, and I'm going to either have to fly away or fight him back, and most of the time I don't do either, and I end up dying. So it gets frustrating, but I think it's the released version of Star Citizen, or it's the released version of what Star Citizen has promised us.
I would
I
like to
do
add that
have
there
Star
are,
Citizen, but I've been wanting to pick up Elite Dangerous.
There are 400 billion visitable star systems in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, that's
Which is
awesome.
just a terrifying amount when you think about it.
And you've visited the 3
About
billion?
about 3.
I think personally I've only made it to about 10 star systems, and I've probably played the game for like 7 to 8 hours. Like it's such an expansive game that it has a lot to promise.
So let's say for somebody that has never really played a game like that before, how easy is it for them to get into it?
That's exactly what I'm doing. This is my first space sim, this is my first flight sim, and it's easy if you understand basic joystick controls. And you go through the tutorials. The tutorials are actually very well done, so that's helped me out a lot. Plus, I have a friend who's been playing it for quite a bit longer, and he showed me kind of the ropes. But I would say it's pretty easy to get into, and it's definitely worth it, I believe. So
I've been mouse and keyboarding it as well, and the controls aren't as like fine-tuned as with a joystick, but where your hotkeys are, it is very intuitive and easy to pick up.
yeah, it all makes sense. Basically, it's not weirdly
Like you
mapped
reach
or
for a button and it does something, and you're like, oh, that's probably where that should be.
That's something.
What's the price point on that?
It's $60.
Okay. So it's a full release pretty much?
It
Yep,
is
it's
a full release.
It's a full release.
Yeah, it released last December, but there's no subscription fee to it. It's you buy it and it's yours.
Gotcha. And is that has it been updated a lot since it was released, or was it pretty like firm when it came out?
They released their second or third patch since release the other day,
Okay. And how long ago was it released? Do you know?
December 14th.
Okay. So that's a pretty good track record, it sounds like. Now, how did it have an early access period, or?
It did, yeah. It did have
It was a fairly long one,
beta.
wasn't it?
It was several months at least.
Yeah.
Okay, and then do you know if it started on Steam, or did it have like a Kickstarter? I want to say, did it have a Kickstarter?
No, it didn't, and
Okay.
it's not on Steam. These guys have been
that's
making
right.
video
That's
games
right.
since
They're a franchise, dude.
1986.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a franchise.
That's
right.
actually really refreshing in this day and age when something doesn't have a Kickstarter.
Right.
And their trailer is really awesome. Like, it sold the game for me, because I wasn't sure if I wanted to pick it up. I wasn't sure if they were trying too hard, but after I watch a gameplay and then I watch the trailer, I was like, hell yeah, I want it.
Gotcha.
Worth the $60. I think it's cost more for me, dang US.
Well, and what's really
Pricing.
impressed me is that there's no actual like pay to win feature. The only thing you can actually purchase are paint jobs for your ship.
That's nice.
Pimp out your ship.
So in order to move forward, you just have to explore or
You explore, you can become a pirate, you can mine, you can find trade routes. You can make money doing anything.
okay.
I
Now,
think the
Brad,
only-
as a CS:GO player, were you all about those skins?
I've spent a little bit too much money on CS:GO skins, I'll admit.
So have you spent a
want
little
to
bit of
tell
money
us
on
something?
the Elite Dangerous skins?
I will not be doing that because that seems less cosmetic than CS:GO skin. Because I only play Elite Dangerous every now and then. I play CS:GO probably every day, so.
I think the closest thing that I've seen to a pay to win model in Elite Dangerous was when you were doing the pre-order before the December 14th release. You could pre-order it and you would get an additional ship. And I think that was the only thing I've seen that comes close to it so far.
Was the ship called the Tiger or something?
No idea.
It's a reasonably cheap ship too. It's like a second tier ship.
Interesting. Well, any other games that you guys are playing at the moment?
Oh man, Oaky dragged at least me. I'm not sure if he actually succeeded with anyone else. I know James tried for a day, but I don't know if he's sticking around.
Then my internet died mid-match.
Yeah, he pulled at least me into Smite. So the MOBA wars are intensifying on the server.
Buncy's actually really good. He picked up on the game so quickly. I guess it kind of helped that I was always in a lane with it. I would always go on the harder game modes. Like Arena is kind of like you just go in there and try and kill everyone and basically kill steal from people.
Right.
But because I'm a higher level than Buncy, we're getting in mid-range queues, way higher than what he should be. So he kind of picked up on the game easier. And then when he was playing by himself, he was saying the matches are so much easier. So he's picked up on the game way quicker.
I think that what's played into that, and I guess to just make sure that everyone is on the same page, Smite is a multiplayer online battle arena where you play as gods from various mythologies. And it works the same way as a League of Legends or a Dota, except it's a third-person mouse and keyboard controlled game rather than a point-and-click controlled game. And I have a little bit of history in that, playing a great game called Super Monday Night Combat. Moj and I played that a while ago, along with Cereal Snacks, who's also a member of Groundfox, or kind of on hiatus. And that's, I think, helped transition. The thing that Smite really helps with is if you're not good at games like StarCraft or other RTS games, and you are decent at first-person shooters, I think the transition to Smite is a whole lot easier than the transition to something like League of Legends or Dota.
But it is a lot more fast-paced. Like, instead of the click and you have to slowly go, it's a lot more in your face, always something happening. There's always something. Another thing that Smite does well is the developers always, every month, adding at least one new game feature and new gods, and also they're doing tweaks and stuff. But they have 4 different game modes, like 5 or 4 different game modes and 5 different maps, and they always have a match of the day, which is, random crap. Like, the other day, me and Buncy were playing this thing where you get every ability you have is, like, on 4% cooldown, which was basically instant cooldown, and
Unlimited mana.
Yeah, unlimited mana. So you were just basically in the fight all the time, or you were fighting gods that were always had healing abilities, and you were trying to focus on them to kill them. Yeah, it was pretty insane. It was actually really fun, though.
Yeah, so I'm slowly getting into that. And then at the moment, I'm kind of having a little bit of trouble streaming lately, but I've been playing Valkyria Chronicles, which is just, I don't know, maybe November of last year, released on PC. There was a port of it done, which is, for the most part, good. Tank controls are really wonky when you're dealing with mouse and keyboard. And then Torchlight and Persona 3. All games that I would recommend, actually.
Torchlight 1?
Torchlight 1, I'm ramping up to Torchlight 2.
Okay. I do have Torchlight 2. I never played Torchlight 1.
It's exactly what you would expect. It's
Okay.
Diablo in a different setting.
Yeah.
I do like Path of Exile. I did play all the Diablo games, but Path of Exile is probably the one that was my favorite out of ARPGs.
Well, I guess I'll jump in. Been kind of jumping more into the tablet-based stuff. I picked up today. Catan was released for Android.
It took them that long to release Settlers of Catan?
Well, through the Amazon
Wow.
store, it came out I think a couple days ago, and so yeah, I had to do a little bit of research to figure out if this was just some like crappy like version of the game or if this was the same one that all the iOS devices had. And apparently, it's the exact same game. I've played through about 4 matches, and it's a lot of fun, and I really like the interface. So I recommend that if anyone's wanting to play it on the Android device. Also picked up.
It's not on iOS?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's just for some reason the port just took forever for some
Okay.
reason. So
And for those of you who are on nearly dead devices, it's also out for BlackBerry.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
I'm so
Windows phone.
so sad.
I played on my Nokia.
Also picked up Monument Valley. Has anybody played that?
No.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's a kind of a puzzler game. It's kind of reminiscent of not quite Fez. I mean, it's got that kind of style to it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That looked
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. I've played the first couple levels, and it's a mind bending kind of game. Like it definitely is one of those like connecting neurons in your brain again kind of things. It's gonna. I think I had either read or heard something where this game does more for you than those those stupid like online puzzle things that people do. I can't think of the name of the website. Don't necessarily want to throw everybody under the bus this particular episode, but you know, you go on the online and it's supposed to be like, oh, this is supposed to keep your brain healthy or whatever. They say
Like the brain game type things.
yeah, like they say this game does, based on research, does like way more for you than any of that stuff. So
Do you have to pay for that?
yeah, I actually got some credits for some stuff I bought on Amazon. So I was just like, oh, just kind of go the handheld route and see what I can come up with. Another game I picked up is called Wayward Souls. Has anybody played that?
I've heard of that one, but never played it.
Yeah, I have some friends that I was hanging out with this weekend. They had it on their iPads, and it looked pretty interesting, so I picked it up. But I don't know a lot about it. But based on both of their recommendations, I definitely sort of.
The first thing you guys, when you said like we were hanging out on their iPads, were you guys at a cafe or something?
No, we were actually driving back from an arcade expo of all things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they, of course, just burning time, and I was in the back seat, so I could actually see both of them playing at the same time. So I was kind of entertained. It was kind of like doing Twitch, but in a live setting. If that makes
Okay.
sense. I could
They just had their
in the
lattes
car.
in the car for that one.
Yeah, they had the lattes in the car.
Right. So I want to say Wayward Souls is about $6. Catan was like 3 or 4, and Monument Valley I think was 3 or 4. So not
Is Pocket Edition Minecraft still $8 on both iOS and Android?
I almost got it. I think it was 5 when I last looked at it, maybe 6. So yeah, it's.
It goes up and down in price so ridiculously. Like
I almost picked it up just because I had a few credits left, but I don't know. I just don't know if I need another version of Minecraft when I'm barely like getting back into vanilla as it is.
oh, it's back up to $9.
Fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
It wasn't this morning, I can tell you that.
No.
Yeah. So, any other games before we move on? Sounds like we're all pretty busy with different stuff.
I
still
will
play
recommend
WoW.
that Warlords. Oh wow, yeah, that was really getting into for a while, and then I uninstalled it.
Yeah, I've played WoW for 10 years on and off.
Yeah, I haven't played for that long, but it was me and I was kind of helping out James for a while there because he got into it in that free to thing. But did you get to level 20?
Yeah, I got to level 20 and had a nice little phantom horse that I got to ride around, and then I stopped because I couldn't level past that.
Mounts are fun. Mounts are very fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I guess I should probably pose the next question. What are you guys watching? That could be television or movies. Anything new? Anything different? Anything you want to
Well, of
throw
course,
out
I think
there?
we're all watching Game of Thrones.
Well, of course.
I'm
Oh,
not.
is that
And
actually
we're all
airing
anticipating the new season is about to start in August, is it?
right now? Oh, okay.
Is it August?
Yeah.
I think.
I will tell you right now, I do watch Game of Thrones. I have yet to see any promotional anything, and that's mostly on purpose. I don't know why.
Really?
Because I'm going to show up, so why do I need to be spoiled? Or
Yeah.
why do I need to see anything from it? You know what I mean?
Well, there was a conference today, and I don't know why they showed it at the Apple conference. They must have, did some, but they showed a trailer there.
Well, I'm
today.
sure it was like a QuickTime exclusive or something, I'm sure.
Yeah, something like that.
But
And my boss recently got me onto bloody New Girl or something. I was trying not to start watching that, but
New Girl's
it's
great.
actually pretty funny.
Yeah, New
Yeah,
Girl's
it's
really
pretty funny. The problem with that show is it's got that. If you watch it, there's that black is the coach. I can't remember his dang IRL name.
The Wayans?
But is that his name?
Yeah, he's Damon Wayans' son. Damon Wayans
Yeah,
Jr.
he's been in so many shows. I just kind of get sick of him when he's in a new show.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
he came on a little bit later, just because of the way
Yeah.
the show was produced. But he, as the show goes on, he definitely has become one of my more favorite characters.
Oh, like I said, I haven't really started watching that much of it. But of course, the big hairy guy, whatever his name is, the teacher, he's pretty funny.
The teacher.
Dumbledore.
You know the hairy Dumbledore's a good teacher. In the show, he's like a weird science biology teacher or something. He's got glasses on, has a big beard.
Don't you know Gibology?
Gibology, that's what we call it in the future. It's
Has anybody seen? Has anybody seen Chappie?
No.
happy.
Yeah, the movie.
It's a movie
I've
about
heard
an AI.
I've heard mixed about it.
Okay, well, I will be seeing it very soon. I didn't have time to see it this weekend, but I'll take the hit, and I think somebody else from our group was seeing it.
Yep, that would be Mr. Paul.
That's right,
Versus
okay.
Dark Fox.
I'll have to see what he thought, but yeah, it's kind of mixed. Of course, this is from the same guy that did District 9 in
Which
Elysium.
I quite liked it, District 9.
I did
too.
like District 9. It was very good.
Yeah, it kind of had this. It was definitely. What's always impressed me with the director's style, and particularly his movies, he just makes things that don't seem could be realistic, like the robots and everything, even the aliens in District 9. I mean, it just seemed like they were just walking around, like as if they, like that sort of documentary kind of style footage.
If you like things like that, there's a BBC series called, I think, Black Mirror or Dark Mirror. I think it's
Black
Black
Mirror.
Mirror.
Black Mirror, I can definitely vouch for that. Very,
Yeah,
very
it's a series of just like hour-long episodes, I think thereabouts. There's 4 in each season. There's 2 seasons, and I watched them all within the past 2 months, and some really good episodes in there.
Yeah, basically, it's a modern Twilight Zone, is how a lot of
Right.
people describe it.
Yep.
So, and that usually gets people's attention. Yeah, I've really liked those. I think I saw the first 3 and just kind of stopped there.
You should definitely keep up. The second season and the Christmas are both really good too.
Yeah, I think I saw them on Netflix, so I don't think the second season is up yet.
okay.
So, but I do have access to. Would it be on BBC America?
I think so.
Okay, I'm sure I can track it down somehow. But yeah, I
I've
really
been
like
really
those.
getting into those BBC. What are they? No, it's not on BBC. BBC. No, it's on Netflix. The documentaries on Netflix. I've been getting into those heaps. Like there was one about Santa, and all these guys thought they were Santa, and that's their real job. Like that's all they do all year is they're Santa. Except one Santa owned a strip club.
Well, of course, somebody has
Yeah.
to.
Too many jokes. There's too many jokes that you could make.
I know, but it's seriously, that's what he did. They were, and all the other Santas hated him because they're like, how can a Santa that loves children own a strip club?
Gotta start somewhere.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the Vikings on the History Channel.
good old Vikings. Yeah, that's a good show. Sons of Anarchy's look pretty good too. I only really watch that
Anarchy was
because
pretty good. Yeah.
I keep
It's
hearing
blacks.
really good things about Justified. Is that the case? Has anybody watched
Is that
Justified?
a chick flick?
Is that the
no,
cowboy one?
it's a show on FX.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it is
With
a
like Josh
cowboyish.
Duhamel or whatever that
Yeah.
guy's name is.
Yep. And
that's
I haven't
good.
seen it.
Mr. Goggins, Walt Goggins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it. I just very, very behind, and somehow have not spoiled myself. So.
It might be on Netflix. I think I remember
Oh
seeing it.
yeah, there's enough there. They've got Sons
Yeah.
of Anarchy, so they definitely have just it's some aspect of Justified, and I'll have to play catch up. I would say, anybody watch Walking Dead?
No.
Oh, I stopped after the 3rd season.
I
I
saw
stopped
2
also.
episodes.
I gave up on the show.
Oh,
Yeah, I gave
Well,
up.
Yeah.
Not
Josh,
one you were
do we need to have like a session here? You just
Well, no,
sound
what-
so depressed.
What happened
Yeah.
was what happened was Steph was pregnant with our first kid,
Seth?
and
Seth Bling?
my wife Stephanie was
Okay,
pregnant with
I
our
would
first
swear you said Seth.
first
Yeah, I
kid.
swear you said that too, man. I don't know.
And in the 2nd or 3rd episode, when they start eating the horse and the guy's in the tank, she's like, "Nope, I'm fucking done."
Well,
And we just never went back.
I tell you what, in this very most recent episode, another horse was involved. So
I'm surprised this horse is left.
this week would be a bad week to jump back into it. Just saying. So I've liked it. I mean, of course, I'm a big fan of the comics. They definitely are
Different?
different. That's true. I mean, there's a lot of things that are different. What's really interesting is that my wife, her aunts, and her cousins, they all just, they've never read the comics, so it's just interesting to see them kind of react to it as if, they don't know a whole lot about the show or like the background with the comics. So it's kind of interesting for me to be like, okay, what can I tell you that happened in the comics that's not going to affect the way you watch this show? And so I get to
JP
play.
on his high horse sitting there with the women, spoiling things.
Well, of course. I mean, what else am I going to do?
He's been like, I know this guy from the future. He's got erections all the time.
But it is kind of interesting just to kind of see them react to it as if, this is all new for the first time. You know what I mean? Even though, even for someone like myself that, reads the comics, I'm still getting a lot out of it. So I've kind of liked how they've diverted from the comics a little bit. Not, there's like subtle things they'll do, whereas, they might change a character from a man to a woman, but the same kind of story is there. I think that's kind of interesting. They've done a little bit of that this season. So they're kind of hitting a little bit of a slower point in the comics story, but I know with only like 3 episodes left, they're going to leave us hanging with something. I'm just trying to figure out which one it is. So
There's multiple things they could just.
yes, there are 3 possible storylines they could go towards, and
I'm gonna have to get you to message me some of those because I'll just like spoil this so bad for my mum. Anyway.
yeah, there's definitely there's one that I think they're going, but there is one if they wanted to maybe get a little bit ahead of the comics, or at least catch up with the comics a little bit and then slow down, that they could do. I don't know.
Does anyone else's mother gets really into shows like this? Like they just start getting really into it. My mum actually slapped me from spoiling something once. Like
My mom
it was
watches
back when
Downton Abbey.
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That just
she
stopped.
watched that. But she's really into Walking Dead. So when we were watching the 2nd season, I was ahead of her, and I this is back when I lived at home, and I spoiled something, and it was something really important. I can't even remember. I think it was the zombies in the barn thing.
Yeah.
And she without
like a
reaction,
huge
she just
plot
went
point.
and just slapped me. I know. She's like, "You little shit."
Yeah,
Well,
I'd do the same.
Well, the
to
funny
you.
thing though about that character is still alive in the comics.
Yeah, yeah.
So just throwing that out there for anybody that knows what we're talking about. So, anyways, the other day, speaking of Steph, not Seth, she threw this question out, and I think I got it down right. She said, if you could live in any TV show universe for a month, which one would you choose and why?
I want to be Barney's wingman from How I Met Your Mother.
I thought you meant Barney, like the kids show.
Oh, that too, man. I want to dress up in a pink dinosaur suit. Instead of a
Do
purple
we,
one, I'll be his sidekick in the pink one.
Do we need to call somebody Oaky?
If you want. But
No,
I'm
so
in
he'll
the
be-
future, so I'm always going to be ahead.
He'll be the pink dinosaur with the boner.
Oh, like the show didn't get cancelled already from its problem.
Right. Well, I will throw back quite a bit on my pick. I said this, but I don't know if anybody picked up on it. The Prisoner with Patrick McGowan.
Yeah.
I would love to live in that zany 70s universe of a show, just so I could yell at people like, "I'm a man, I'm not a number." If you've never seen that show, of course AMC tried to remake it with Jim Caviezel, and that sucked so bad. It was so boring. Whereas the Patrick McGowan series is just, it's hard to get into. It's not for everyone, but it's just one of my favorite TV shows. It's just so innovative what they did back in the day. So
How many
that would
seasons?
I don't know seasons wise because I watched it, of course, much later. But it's at least 20 episodes, at least.
In a season or that?
I think just total.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to come out of completely left field with an answer and say that I would want to spend a month in the world of No Game, No Life. And I'm guessing that name doesn't mean anything to any of you, but it's
Crickets.
it's an anime that is set in a fantasy universe where the races are kind of spread up into their own nations, and every conflict, every fight, any disagreement is settled by playing a game, whether it be as simple as a game of rock paper scissors or a game of chess, or one nation has like full VR simulations that they can do. And there's the story itself is something that's kind of ongoing. The second season of the anime I know is going to be coming because it's been just really well received, but it's a show in a world that I would really just like to get into because I love board games.
If I had to pick an anime, I'd go back to Dragon Ball and be Goku's Krillin.
You'd want to die that often?
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'll just be the guy walking around with the boner doing Kamehamehas. It's all good.
Are you
all
sure
good.
you wouldn't want to be who's the pig? The pig that has just like the panties on his head.
yeah. And he's always hanging out with Master Roshi. I know who you're talking about. I cannot
Yeah.
remember his name though.
He played a bigger role in Dragon Ball as opposed to Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z.
He's just kind of in Dragon Ball Z. He's just kind of there.
Yep.
So is Yajirobe, that bloody long-headed fat guy who always hangs out with Korn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many good animes.
Anybody else have a universe that they would like to live in for a short period of time?
I would personally love to be a part of the VGHS community and world, and that'd be so much fun. Seeing as I'm rounding out my high school life, I only have 42 days left of schooling potentially, and then but
He's
I wish
putting
I
his
could.
big pants on. Big boy pants.
I wish I could have spent it in VGHS though. That would have been so fun. Well, I wish it was real. I guess that's the first step in it, but that would have been a lot of fun.
I actually thought a lot about this question. I did. I thought like a good 15 minutes, and I was going to say Doctor Who because I'm surrounded in
Skyrim's
Doctor Who
not a show, dude.
memorabilia.
Skyrim is not a show.
Skyrim is not a show. No, I'm going to
Just wait, it's going to be the Roadrunner.
Oh, goodness.
Gilligan's Island.
Oh, very
I'm originally from Southern California. The freaking beach with coconuts and weird contraptions, and that's right up my alley.
nice. So, but would it be younger Josh or current Josh?
I don't know.
And how would you end up on the island?
Well, do we ever know how we end up on the island?
Whoa.
It's very deep.
That's deep. That's very deep, Josh.
Are you trying to tie into Lost here a little bit?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that was such a good show.
For a while.
Yeah, that last season was kind of weird.
Yeah, the big old
Last
turd.
3 seasons were kind of weird.
The big old turd.
Big old turd. Anyways, well, we don't necessarily have any questions from our listeners or fans, but we could easily tell you how to do that. Does anybody want to let everyone know how they could get a hold of us?
Well, one good way is you could tweet at Groundfox server on Twitter any questions, and JP or I should be able to read them easily.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure the Groundfox Twitter is also following the Groundfox members, so you can kind of go through who they're following and just kind of pick on there. I know I've been reading Twitter while we've been going. There's a lot of erection jokes on there.
Yeah, we may have been live
Maybe we should just
tweeting very
maybe we should just
slightly.
title this show Groundfox Podcast 1 Erection, and that will get a lot of people
Ooh,
interested.
Perfect start.
Yeah.
Sure. Of course, we've been kind of talking about a little bit of a hashtag that people could use. If you want to do that, you could do hashtag GFPOD, GFPod. Kind of keep it as short as possible so you can use as many characters that are left over to get a hold of us. So feel free to do that, and we'll kind of keep our eyes to that. But basically anything goes, as you could tell from this episode. We'll talk about just about anything, including erections. So there you go. Maybe you're having some problems. Oaky might be the man to help you out.
I'll send you some futuristic Viagra Rapid.
It's really just a can of Red Bull and like
With some pills in it, and you
Yeah.
don't even. It's just a guessing game what the pills are.
We've learned today that Oaky is just a back alley merchant who just has a
Hey, I live on a farm now.
Oh, that's even better.
oh boy.
Well, any questions about the server itself can be emailed to me. I do keep an active email for that. And it is 2brotherslp@gmail.com.
Is it the number 2 or the letters spelled
The
out?
spelling.
Gotcha.
EWO.
Gotcha.
TWO.
We need to make a jingle of that.
Go ahead, James. I know you love a good old jingle.
No, not right now. I would need to plan this.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Groundfox podcast. Thanks to everyone here for their time. And hey, I want to thank everyone out there for listening. Bye.
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 See ya.